Have you ever wondered which voices are missing from the history books, especially around our democratic rights and how we got them? Here is a short story about some of those forgotten or unheard voices and how they made history. Did you know that Ignatius Sancho was the first person of African descent to vote in Britain? Ignatius spoke vehemently against slavery, calling the practice of trafficking slaves abominable and the horrid cruelty and treachery of petty kings. And what about Sarah Parker Redmond? Although her petition in 1866 was denied, it kick-started decades of organised campaigning by women and their allies calling for the vote. In 1910 and 1911, women took to the streets of London in protest, boycotting the census and demanding change. As suffragette, Princess Sophia Duleep Singh said herself, "No vote, no census." Sound familiar? It took until 1918 for the first woman, Constance Markievicz, to be elected as a Member of Parliament. Being a member of Sinn Féin, she declined to take her seat. She was followed by Nancy Astor, elected in 1919, the second woman to become an MP, but the first to sit in the House of Commons. Eventually, in 1928, the Representation of the People Equal Franchise Act was passed, granting equal voting rights. As a result, both men and women could vote at the age of 21. But it took until 1969 for all adults over 18 to get the right to vote. Another integral chapter in our civil and democratic rights story is Lord Leary Constantine, the first black peer in Britain. Lord Constantine was a descendant of slaves, a cricket legend, and an instrumental figure in the creation of the Race Relations Act 1965, that outlawed discrimination on the grounds of colour, race, ethnic, or national origins. Let's fast forward to modern reforms and new wins for democracy. After the 1998 London Devolution referendum, the role of the Mayor of London was created in 2000, the first directly elected mayor in the UK. It also brought about the creation of the London Assembly. Did you know that London also has a youth assembly? In 2015, the voting age for Scottish local elections and for the Scottish Parliament was reduced to 16. In 2020, voting rights were further extended to all Scottish residents, irrespective of nationality, including those with refugee status. Finally, in 2020, votes for 16 and 17-year-olds and all residents were also adopted in Wales for local and devolved elections. Here in London, 1 in 3 young people are not registered to vote. Young, black, Asian, ethnic minority and migrant Londoners, including Commonwealth and EU citizens, and private renters are the most underregistered and underrepresented. Your voice is your vote, and your voice matters. No vote, no voice. Go to www.gov.uk/register to vote and get heard. London won't be the same without your voice.